What a performance, eh?
I can't, Mike. I can't describe it honestly. I don't think it's going to hit me what I've done tonight. 2 free kicks in a quarter-final at home against Real Madrid is, it's special. I'm so happy. Probably the best moment in my career for sure. Thierry's holding the trophy that he's won probably 100 times in his career.
I mean,
my
look,
first one, so I'm obviously buzzing. But yeah, it was.
They already gave it to him, and I just wanted to make the gesture because the game tonight, guys. I'm just gonna go in if you allow me. First and foremost, like the game that you had is just. I mean, it was crazy the way you played, but you looked like you played the game because you wanted to prove a point. I don't know to who. To your teammates, the fans, or some people, I don't know what, but you were possessed tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in these, in these big games, I always try to step up, and I just thought go out there and have no fear. What have you got to lose? It's a game of football against Real Madrid. If you're going to have fear, good things ain't going to happen. And we really believed as a team that we could win tonight. And went out there every time we had the ball. We tried to be a threat. I tried to run with it as much as I can. Constantly trying to threat. Probably should have had 2 in the first half. I didn't run. I could have had a tap in, the header, and then obviously scored the 2 goals. So I just went out there. I was fearless, and I was ready to, like you said, to prove a point. And we did that.
Do you remember when was the last time Arsenal scored a free kick, a direct free kick?
Odegaard, maybe.
Yeah, but when was that?
2020, 2021, 4 or 5 years ago.
And you said you wanted to do well, but you have doing well and doing what you did. You know what? I'm going to let Micah in because I had Micah on the phone this morning and he said to me, if you allow me, Micah.
Of course.
He said to me, I want to do something about Declan Rice because I think he is special in that team. So, Micah, you can go.
No, okay. Basically, in the number 6, I think you're fantastic. But in the number 8, I think you're world class because the way you travel with the ball, so athletic, the tackles, the through balls, absolutely everything. So what I wanted to ask you, how do you find it moving it from a number 6 into a number 8 position?
Yeah, I've loved it. Like you said, I feel like I've got the ability to play number 8 and produce goals, produce numbers. It's about having that self-belief, that self-confidence. Obviously, when I first come here, I was playing 6 a lot last year, then moved into 8 at the back end of the season, and then had a conversation with the manager at the start of the season. He said, you can feel like you can do way more for us. You're so athletic, you're so strong, you make really good runs into the box. You can score goals, your left foot, right foot. He'd give me the confidence, to play there. And in these games when they stretch and they open up, it suits me to a T. And I love just getting the ball and travelling with it and trying to make things happen for my teammates. And I think the number 8 position is really suiting me at the minute.
Declan, now that we've spoken about the fact that, just very quickly, because we've obviously introduced the fact about you, I can tell you there was nobody who was more Team Declan tonight than Micah. We want to show you his reaction to your goals. Take a look at this.
I'll tell you about my man, Declan Rice, making them runs into the box. Lovely little header, but it's a great save from Courtois. That's why he is the best.
Micah absolutely desperate for Declan Rice to do well tonight after his analysis in the pre-game.
You couldn't write it. Is that after the first one?
What did I tell you? He's in the form of his life.
Of the game because you see now what he's good at. You don't see anymore him not wanting to be on the ball very low and being scared of making mistakes. He goes forward, he participates in games, he takes free kick. I thought that, at the beginning of the first free kick, I was like, the guard's going to take that. And then I was like, okay, the second one, it was clear to see that he was going to take that because he scored the first one. But look, I would still, by the way, I don't know what you thought, guys. I'm very sorry. I love Thibaut Courtois, but if you have 2 men on the ball, you can't have a wall of 4 people. I'm talking about the first one, not the second one. Second one, there is nothing you can do. You can put 10 goalkeepers there, it will never save it. But the first one, the position of the wall is questionable, especially when you have 2 men off the ball. It cannot only be 4 players there because that ball is easy to bend around. But for Declan Rice to realize it and whoever was with him also to let him do it, that's outstanding. And you can see I mean, you can see it, by the way, how much the Arsenal fans are in love with Declan Rice. Not a lot of people are. There's always a debate, is it that great or not? But again, I'll go back to Mikel Arteta and what he did to put him in a position where he was going to show what he's good at.
Thierry, you must be happy though. 12 shots, 11 on target. They pressed a little bit higher, clean sheet, all-round great night for Arsenal.
Yes, he was. And I will be honest with you, at the very beginning in the first half, I was like, once you have them against the rope, you need to punish them because we know what they're capable of doing. And by the way, the 2 free kicks of Declan Rice just did that. But overall, as you said, they pressed well. The fans were at it. Everybody was at it. This is, like I said, I can't go, over the moon and be too happy about it because there is a return leg and we've seen teams coming back. And if a team can do it, it's Real Madrid. But am I happy with what happened tonight? Am I happy with the way, by the way, Bukayo Saka played tonight for not playing for a very long time? Yes, I am. But then I have to also be humble because there is another game, and you know they can do it. But like I said, the performance of Declan Rice was just outstanding, and hopefully we can go through and that can go down in history a bit better. Because if you like, do you remember when we beat Real Madrid and then you don't go through? It doesn't look right. So I'm just happy tonight. And
in this tie, though, history does favour Arsenal because, of course, your side did it back in the 2005-2006 campaign. We spoke about Declan Rice. We'll hope to speak to him or maybe one of the other Arsenal players soon, Kate, and we'll bring you those interviews, of course, with Real Madrid as well.
We want Declan, Anita, Thierry. We need Declan.
We do.
We'll try and get Declan.
We're trying to.
Thierry can get anybody he wants.
Spread your wings, Thierry. Come on.
Thierry,
anyone you want?
You helped build this stadium.
I did. Indeed. I did indeed. Not alone though, but I did indeed.
You laid one of the bricks, right?
Sorry. No. Just a couple of goals.
Oh,
my man!
Is it with Arsene Wenger back in the day? Anyway, Kate, we'll come back to you with some interviews shortly.
All right, we'll look forward to it. Thank you very much, guys. Good to see you. Ooh. Listen, I know Thierry's right. Obviously, you're only halfway through, but...
Thierry's always right.
But I think the rest of us kind of looking on just felt incredibly elated by that Arsenal win.
I think what's interesting from Thierry's point of view, what he's saying there, he is right, but he's an Arsenal man. He's an Arsenal fan, it's his club, and I think if it was Liverpool, I'd be saying the same, because you've always got this fear about your own club. You'd always think, most people will say Arsenal are going to get through now, but if you're connected with Arsenal, you'd always fear the worst. But I do think it's fair to almost look at this as a standalone game. And we know there's a second leg, they're still not through, but I think we've just got to almost look at this in isolation as well and talk about the performances of Saka. Lewis Skelly at left back. 18 years of age. What Declan Rice did in midfield. This is a night he'll never forget, whether they get through or not. And we've got to remember, Arsenal aren't a superpower in Europe. They've never won the Champions League before. But nights like this will give them belief, not that they're just going to get through. If they do get through, they've got to believe they can win the competition. But even next season, these group of players, they beat Real Madrid 3-0 at home, the European champions, best team in the world, Mbappe, best player in the world. So I think this gives them an awful lot, gives them a great chance of getting through, but it just, for them confidence-wise, belief-wise, even going into the competition next season, I think it's a massive night that we should, celebrate now, and obviously we'll look forward to next week as well.
You just said about give you that confidence. Obviously, you won the Champions League. Did you have a game which you thought gave you the moment that Arsenal will have tonight, that give you that belief to say you can go and win the tournament?
Yeah, we didn't beat somebody that well. We beat Juventus 2-1 at home. That was Fabio Capello was the manager. They had Cannavaro, Thuram, Ibrahimovic, Nedved, Del Piero. So they had it was like a proper team when you're thinking everyone was like a renowned star. And a little bit like what Thierry said, we couldn't probably enjoy it as much because it was only 2-1. And the away goal rule was in the competition then. So if we'd have lost 1-0 away, we were out. But we drew 0-0 away. And we got through, and that was like one of them moments where you think,
we belong here.
Yeah. We've beat Juventus. I'm defending for Liverpool. Cannavaro's defending for Juventus. He's a world-class player, and we've beat them. And it's that thing of psychologically, I think it gives you a lot, and I think it'll give them a lot. Going into the second leg as well, you'll have real belief that they can go there and get something.
So was that the night you began to believe you were better than Cannavaro?
You finished higher than me, didn't you? Ballon d'Or, didn't you, that year?
Well, I only played Cannavaro twice. Beat them for Juventus, beat them for Real Madrid. Beat them 4-0 over 2 legs for Real Madrid. 5-0 actually.
Touché.
Stats tell the story, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Most underrated player in world football, mate.
Who said that?
Me.
Okay, we're going to start going through the highlights of the game for this. I'm going to start actually with Real Madrid's probably their best chance in the game, I think. Kylian Mbappe, let's take a look at this one.
Yeah, we talked about it, didn't we? And this is what Arsenal were doing. Just got caught on the ball there. And this is what they may have been afraid of, when I was coming into the game. And Kylian Mbappe then runs in behind. But you just see as the ball coming through, especially with Carrillo playing, it sort of didn't have that partnership. And you're thinking was one area that they could exploit. But when Mbappe goes through, he doesn't get round enough just to bend it in that far corner. But that was an early warning sign.
Yeah, and listen, you talk, Mikey, you said about 12 shots, 11 on target. How often has Courtois kept Real Madrid in this competition? And the tie is just alive because of him. You see this double save here, the Declan Rice header. But how quickly he reacts and gets up. He should save the first one. A player, a goalkeeper of his quality. But how quickly for a big man to get right up, get back in position, and palm another one away.
It was tense at that stage, wasn't it? Very tense.
Yeah, it was. It was on a knife edge.
It was. We're going to take a look at the first goal for Arsenal. Declan Rice on the free kick. You can only savour this one. Take a look.
Well, what does Thierry say? What did he say? It wasn't in till it was in?
Till it was in. I mean, I gave him a big build-up before, but I didn't expect this. He's never scored 2 free kicks in a game before in his life. I don't think he's scored 2 goals in a game before in his life, but to do that, the whip, the bend against Courtois as well, that is just sensational stuff. And look at the reaction there from Arteta. He knows how important that was.
And it's all down to the set-piece specialist.
Yes.
And we all knew that you were rooting for Declan Rice to do something special. You'd done the analysis in the pre-game. Take a listen to Micah's reaction to Declan Rice scoring. Here you go.
Oh!
Get him in the studio afterwards. Get him in! You like that little wink there?
Yes.
The wink. Are you winking at?
No.
Go on, let's roll back the wink.
Let's talk about the wink.
Smooth.
Oh!
Micah.
Like James Bond.
I've been on top form today, haven't I? You see it? They're originals.
It could have been more. Let's take a look at some more Arsenal chances here. What we got next?
Yeah, this is the triple chance. But what I like about this clip here and this chance, look how high Arsenal are. I mean, they just took the game to Real Madrid. Another great save, as Jamie mentioned, Courtois, and then to get up and save that from, I think it was Marino who had the shot in the end. But look at them. They're all working together, grouping together, and they really believe tonight. I think Jamie said it right earlier. It was about that belief, and they did believe tonight. But yeah, it could have been more in the end.
Yeah, and the man we're all talking about tonight, and everybody in European football will be talking about, is Declan Rice, and he could have actually, but for his England teammate Jude Bellingham clearing one off the line. Here he is again, left foot shot this time, and he just stopped, as I said, from Jude Bellingham.
Partey could have just tipped it round, couldn't he? A little touch round the corner there, but he just misses it.
What I mean, a brace against Real Madrid, wow.
Wow.
Yes, wow, exactly. Take a look at the second free kick, Declan Rice. This was unbelievable, everybody.
How has he done this? We can't do this, Jamie. We can't. He's got the goalkeeper's side. Go on, talk about the whip and the power.
Normally you have someone who they put real power into a free kick or they go for placement. He's done both. I mean, you won't see a better free kick anywhere this season. I don't believe that. I mean, the size of Courtois, the side he's standing, I mean, that is like, that's in the stanchion.
It's outrageous. How has he done that?
And I think the only man in the history of Arsenal Football Club who's capable of that is
Thierry Henry.
I think Thierry is the only man who is capable of that.
Definitely.
Okay, 3-0. Happened pretty shortly after this one. Mikel Merino adding another one for Arsenal. Here we go.
Yeah, and I was talking about Declan Rice making them runs, but he's able to make them runs because of people like Lewis Skelly coming in these areas, backing him up, and what a finish that was. He just guides it. You see it there. We talk about left-backs or inverted full-backs now, but Skelly, the way he comes and finds that little pocket of space there and then has a composure to find him, and then Marino with a really good finish, just bends it round. Who was it there? Rudiger. What a finish that was. Wow. Dreamland, wasn't it? Dreamland.
I mean, he's done really well, considering, you know, he's playing out of position as a centre-forward. They've got no real attacking player there. And when sort of Havertz was out and Jesus, it was very difficult to see them going on and winning the Premier League. People were looking at that. Arsenal fans probably didn't believe they could go on and win the Champions League. But he's given them a little bit of a fighting chance, even in the league, you know, just nicking goals. Again, tonight, really important goal. Probably in the first half, we were a little bit critical of him, but he's not a centre-forward in terms of not getting into the box when Saka was putting those crosses in. But in the main, he's done really well.
Rice will get the headlines, but Lewis Skelly today was out. It's one of the best performances I've seen from a fullback at this age. And to have the composure...
Including yourself in that?
I had a couple of good ones early doors, but I mean, the thing is about it, normally young fullbacks, they're energetic, they go up and down, but they don't have the positional play and the awareness of what's around them, the touch and technique. And at 18, he seems to have it all. And you always say the word, he's got personality, Jamie. I mean, he's playing through balls, and I don't know how he's learnt the system so early. I mean, really good coaching from Arteta, but you really liked this clip, didn't you, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, I love it because I've seen him do it before, but to take that response box with some of the best players in the world and take that responsibility, and you said about personality and right, I always use that term, but I also use football arrogance, and I mean that in a way where you see that from the best players. Jude Bellingham's got it, where they strut around the pitch and with the chest out and it's like, give me the ball, but you don't normally see that from someone of such a young age. I mean, he looks like he is a superstar.
He is.
But you just think how good he can become. I mean, he's almost like running the game from left back. He gets his assist there, it's about to finish, but I mean,
superstar.
He is. You talk about fullbacks and you think of sort of at Liverpool with Trent, where they're a little bit different. They're not a normal fullback. You just mentioned what a young fullback would be. More often than not, if a young player comes through, especially at a big club, the easiest position to come through is probably fullback. You did that, I did that. You sort of bed yourself into the game. Because I'm not saying it's an easy position, but you don't have to be spectacular, if you like. But he's spectacular at left-back and he looks like almost one of the best players in the Arsenal team. He's going into central midfield, he's receiving the ball on the half-turn, he's got Mbappe, Vinny Jr. either side of him. He's taking responsibility, and that's where I go back to football arrogance. And it's not about position. It reminds me a little bit of Bellingham at that age. Also Wayne Rooney. Yeah. So when Wayne Rooney first came into the England squad and I was in the squad, he almost, as if like, I'm the best player. You know, give me the ball, no fear. He'd take the ball in difficult situations where when we were young players, you'd come in and you'd be like, you'd want to get your first pass off in the game.
Don't get the ball away.
Yeah, you'd almost want to build into a game, build your confidence. He's got that thing as if he's playing like he's 26 and he's been playing all his life. And he is very, very special.